It's Team Dignitas, as, well, I think my prediction still stands the same. I think ENVYUS will scrape ahead with this map. It could be another very close one, but I'd fancy them to take this before we do get to Mirage.
This is going to be another fairly CT-sided map, so the knife round is fairly coveted here. As picking that up can give you a nice little advantage at the beginning, and obviously as well here for ENVYUS with the strength of Kenny coming into the picture in today's match too. If he's going to be able to start off on the CT side, that's going to be great. T side, not as much, because opting T side on this map can be very, very difficult if you do not get the opening advantages in terms of kills. So they're definitely going to want to try that, get that here, but doesn't look like that'll be the case, as Dignitas kind of running over this knife round. In fact, they don't lose anybody on it.
That's such a true point that you raised there about T-side AWPing difficult on this map. There's a lot of bottlenecks. There's a lot of close claustrophobic kind of positions where you can come out of and try and have a look. And if the CTs get the first frag, it alleviates a lot of the pressure. They can start to clump up on certain areas. So it's really from the CT's perspective. If you get that first kill, it's like a mini victory in itself in the sense that you should definitely be favorites to go ahead and take that round. I wish I had the stats available to me to see how many times, like when a CT gets the first frag on this map, they actually end up closing it out. So I'm not sure how potent Kenny S is going to be, but we also saw that ENVYUS on Cobblestone, when their economy wasn't great, were just as happy to run with 5 AKs as they were with an AWP as well, and they were able to execute that one to perfection. So I don't think it'll hurt Kenny S as much as some of the other AWPers out there, but it's going to be very curious to see how this one plays out. Into this piss around we go, though.
And just as a note, too, as I know some people are curious about the map picks and who picked what, the last map over on Cobblestone was the pick from ENVYUS. This is the pick from Dignitas. So just wanted to clear the air on that one. Third map's randomized, of course. So as we start things off here, members of ENVYUS setting up for pretty usual outside yard take here, and with the first kill going their way back by Ivy, they're going to start this pretty quickly here, but Config able to pick up a first response. Happy still finding the trades, but Tensky coming in there. He's going to be able to pick up an additional frag now, shutting down Keo, getting himself into a duel versus NBK, sitting just outside of Ivy, and he lines up the headshot once again with that USP, taking down NBK. This T offense, unfortunately, not really going very far. They've gotten some very good damage on both MSL and Tensky, but they've got to be able to finish these players off, and it's not going to be happening as Tensky finds a third kill all the way back in the mid-tunnel there, shuts him out, and then gets the fourth kill as well over here onto Apex.
Playing the USP strengths to just perfection there. USP at long range is a lot more effective than the Glock is, and you could see that Dignitas was just holding back and almost saying, come at us, bros. You know, you got the Glocks, you got to try and make something happen here. And very well played from Dignitas, as we can see again. An interesting mixed bag of weaponry from Dignitas. Interestingly enough, no scouts in play. Do you see a lot of teams on their CT side will go for a scout and try and play long, and Ivy, something like that. Instead, Dignitas playing much close-range weapons like the MP9, the Max 7, and the UMP, where they can get up and close, and they're going to be playing accordingly. Pretty aggressive positions taken from the CTs here in this round.
The rest of ENVYUS now pressing themselves into the back B halls. They do have an extra player here from Dignitas this time, though they're not going to do the usual strat, which is just to place a single man in here and then keep another one close by. Usually the Opper inside of Z, they're ready to rotate off if the play does come in towards it. Just going to commit 2 to it for now on these anti-ecos, and for good reason too, as the play is going to be coming in, but Rubino doesn't see. Wrapping around him is going to be Apex, but that doesn't matter. He's able to shut it down anyway. Kenny coming back with at least 1 kill, but it doesn't matter. He's getting ripped to shreds here by the members of Dignitas there. The gunpowder easily outnumbering them, and then Tensky again catching Happy up on top there, getting him through the smoke, shuts him out, and Dignitas easily up to 2 rounds to nothing.
Tensky started so well here. I feel like Apex missed his opportunity. He ran down from the ramp side and got actually around the back. I think it was Rubino who was playing the close position there behind the blue train on the B side, and really did miss that chance. If he picks up that frag, who knows? Things could have changed drastically in ENVYUS' favor. As it stands, though, ENVYUS going to be tapping out of this round. Yet to get a bomb plant down so far. Dignitas looking good. This time looks like more of a split, kind of a aggression here through Ivy, but just 4 kills in as many seconds. And just like that, the round goes very comfortably in Dignitas' hands. 3-0 already.
And they're just going to shut it down there in the first 3 rounds, not even giving ENVYUS any room to think, really, on how they want to play things out there. So that's going to be an easy start here for the members of Dignitas, but now transitioning into the gun round here too, and unfortunately for ENVYUS, because they're given basically 0 chance to even pick up any kills, we'll see ENVYUS not really having a lot of utility coming into this gun round. They'll be able to work a smoke setup into the yard of their choosing, but in terms of mollies, one on force players out of positions, they have none of that at all here, and it's going to be a very rough take.
Pretty crucial first frag, though, from Happy. Conflict goes pushing into Pop Dog. MSL close range with the MP9. Gets 2 kills onto Kiyoshima. And then Happy as well. That locks down Pop. Problem is that Apex is now running rampant out of team main. Kiyobi's holding the closer angle. He goes in for the peek. And I'm almost certain that Apex saw the shadow moving just before Kiyobi peeked it. Beautiful comeback into that round from ENVYUS. It started pretty rough for them, but all important round. Here comes an AWP, though, from Rubino. Interesting.
This, of course, is going to have so much power being worked against ENVYUS here. They will transition into the next buy round for themselves here, as Dignitas are now going to empty out the bank accounts here. And for ENVYUS, specifically Keo, actually taking this one rather lightly, as he doesn't actually have a rifle for himself. He's just going to be sitting back right now with a CZ. Just in case one of their players ends up falling down, he should be able to pick that up, and that actually saves them quite a bit of money in the long run, but they're not going to be expecting here. Keo pressing up to E-Box there, or actually Config, apologies, pressing up to E-Box, able to pick up those first 2 kills. Tensky finding a third, and Happy finally looking for a response. Kenny, too, shuts down Tensky up on top of Heaven, and all the nades rolling back in here. That could do a lot of damage to Rubino, but it's not going to connect. He gets himself out of the hot zone just in time, and now Kenny, too, here, getting hit pretty heavily by that op. He's going to be shut down by Kirby, and then locking in for the final kill is going to be MSL to shut it down, and once again, straight right back here to give Dignitas another round.
So a false start from ENVYUS. They pick the round up and instantly get destroyed in turn. 3 players keeping alive for Dignitas. That's great for their economy. Again, the AWP comes in. The reason I said it was interesting is because MSL was typically the player who was using the AWP over on Cobblestone. So typically mixing up here. Rubino does have a pretty good spawn to have a quick peek onto team main. That seems to be where he's going. No one's home for ENVYUS though. Instead, with their half bite, they will be looking to push into upper and pop dog respectively, try and maybe fake this one out and draw a couple of the CTs away from their position. It's going to be a close round, this one, though, I feel, as ENVYUS will be looking to execute pretty soon.
They've got as many players as they really need to initially defend B, though, pretty much on this site. They've got the usual setup with the operator watching up towards upper, and then one player sort of up on top of Pop Dog here watching out for a push to come from lower. He's going to fall back a little bit and give them some room, but that nade coming in does so much damage. Doesn't matter, though, as Apex is actually just going to floor one of these players to the ground. Now, see Config sneaking out. Happy, good patience from him, able to roll in and pick up an additional kill. This combined with Rubino and Tensky picking up 2 kills, too, is keeping this into a very even situation for now, but Rubino going to miss the connection on one of his op shots, and the trades continue back down on the site there. Kirby and Happy trade some blows back and forth. They'll lose Rubino and Kiyoshima. Now both of the final players on either side really just sitting back. Nobody wants to take action, and ENVYUS have a lot of time to think about this one too, so they shouldn't be rushed just as of yet. The problem is going to be that the bomb is on the ground, so they'll have to play this very carefully.
And there's so many things to talk about in this round that it's not over just yet, as MBK could very well have been taken down from Tensky. And as you can see, he's only on 23% left of his health. Now Kirby spots him. He will get the pick, and that in turn is going to put a lot of advantages in the favour now of Team Dignitas. The problem is they're both pretty low, but Happy has to go for this 1 versus 2. He's only got 13 seconds. There's the first frag. Kirby's now starting to peek on towards upper. 10 seconds left. Happy has to go in for it. He now knows the information. Instead of backing away to plant the bomb, he actually goes aggressively. This is going to force Kirby up into the upper position. And Happy's just waiting. He's making noise. He's trying to fake out the climb. He seems to think that maybe Kirby's jumped on top of that one. I think they both know each other are, but this game of cat and mouse continues. Happy now is going to be lucky. He just saw Kirby's foot around the corner, gets the frag, and the 1v2 is real. And a big round for ENVYUS goes begging for Dignitas.
I crashed.
So did I. GoTV's a beast.
No radio casting then.
Yep. Sad times. I had loads of these crashes the other day as well. It's a real nightmare. While we're reconnecting, I guess I can kind of touch on what I was talking about before. I think he said at the time completely correctly that Happy super passive play, very much waiting for that rotation to come in. And typically when you're against a pistol round, you're assuming like all hell to break loose and everyone just rush on the side. So smart there, and definitely a catalyst for why ENVYUS end up taking that round. God, Go TV, please.
You might actually have to radio cast. I got that bug again. I had to relaunch for a second time.
Yeah, my game just crashed again.
GoTV does not like me on this set, man.
Nah, me neither. I was having the same the other day. The chat went crazy. It's good times.
They're going crazy now. Look at them.
You guys need to understand it's GoTV issues. Nothing Blue can do about this. Trust me, I know from first-hand experience. It's not a coincidence we both crushed at the same time, let me put it that way.
Hey, there we go. Alright, we're back in now. Good to go, guys. Yeah, everybody laughed at me because I'm MG. I haven't played MM in like a month. So, Team ENVYUS now, even situation here, as it's back up to 4-on-2. This one, I don't think we've actually missed the ending of a round just as of yet, but MSL picking up the headshot there, taking down Keo, but Apex sneaking around, he's gonna find it. MSL, that's an easy frag for him to find. Pressing forward, Tensky, he's gonna get dropped too. Apex is doing work right now pressing forward, but Rubino, he's got that up, and that's the big stopping power. Shuts out Apex. Now it's a 2 versus 2 here to try and finish this off again. The same situation that we were looking at before, and basically the same positions here too. As members of Dignitas, they're going to get a little bit more aggressive this time as they press forward and look for those final kills.
You have to keep it going, dude. I'm reconnecting still.
Oh, I thought you were back in. All right. So Happy's now back up atop here. And again, they've got him basically boxed out. That Molly's going to force him to push through it as well. But Rubino lines up the shot. The Molly is actually going to end up burning him alive, but he should be able to jump. He just hit the bomb! No, he's not going to have enough time! Rubino, what have you done? You're not going to be able to grab it! And oh my goodness, Rubino! What a huge mistake from him! And that cost them the round. ENVYUS, they're going to pick up an additional point.
I just got in to see the end of that. That is such a catastrophe as Team ENVYUS again get another round. This time for free. On a golden plate from Team Dignitas. And look at how much that affects Dignitas as well. Not only is it a round to ENVYUS, this now puts them into CZs with Kevlar. This could effectively be a 2-for-1 round or a 3-for-1 round if Dignitas lose this. And they've lost the first player as well.
So here we go, ENVYUS now. They're going to try to pick this one up, but look at what Dignitas are doing. They just get aggressive this time. They're going to press right into ENVYUS's quarters, and it works out great as they start this one off in their favor, picking up 2 AKs as well for both Kirby along with MSL, and now they take up the usual positions. This puts the members of ENVYUS off to a big degree here. NBK trying to find a way, and he just barely wins a trade versus MSL, surviving with 4 HP. And ENVYUS now, after being tripped up a little bit here at the beginning, looking for a way to recover this round.
It's a valiant attempt from Dignitas. Of course, as I said before, they have the Kevlar, so if they can convert them into pistols, sorry, not pistols, what am I talking about, assault rifles, then they should be good to go. ENVYUS, though, have the bomb in their hands. It hasn't been dropped in a precarious position, and they still got time to play with. So if Dignitas start to clump together and rotate, as they're doing right now, and they feel pressured on this because they only have a pistol in the hands of Tensky, so they pretty much have to roll the dice and hope for the best. But look at ENVYUS. They will be snaking their way in the form of Apex taking point for his team. Only Rubino has sniffed this one out. He was going to be the lone defender for now over on the A side. Noise has been made. What a headshot that has done to Kenny. There is a flash coming out as well. That's just bought up enough time for his rest of the team to rotate and react. The key man is going to be Apex, and he has landed the shot. He's going to be looking for a second one. He gets caught out and punished from Kirby, and with 15 seconds, this should be the CT's round.
NBK going to try to work a miracle here, but it's going to be very hard for him to accomplish this. 4 HP, waiting for the headshot over there on a Kirby. He's going to grab it, but now he's forced to plant. Tensky, that's an easy closeout for him. Does it with the CZ, finishing him off. And again, now Dignitas strike right back after a little bit of an embarrassing loss there due to a mistake from Rubino. They bounce right back into this game on again there, basically just with pistols too. This is going to re-upset ENVYUS and put them now onto a force buy if they even choose to go for it. Probably going to take it even lighter from the looks of it right now.
And that really is the best possible way to come back from a really embarrassing loss, right? Like, oh my goodness, I just lost this round for no reason. Bounce back, win the round convincingly, put some decent headshots down there. Everything's looking good. And there's the P90 force aggression as well. Config holding it down from Pop Dog. He just spin around, lands the shot through the smoke as well. Kenny gets destroyed there. And now it's all on Kiyoshima, who's out on E-Box. It's only so long before he feels the same way. And indeed, there we go. Team Dignitas locking out with authority. Do not lose a single player.
Yeah, rounds like that going to be a great build-up for the economy. Unfortunately for Rubino, again, still on the P90, so he's going to have to keep this for a couple extra rounds. I believe Config will be doing the same thing, but because they do make the choice to stick with these instead of just going for an upgrade immediately, it's going to keep the money a little bit stronger. And for ENVYUS, they actually have to go for a save yet again. Still not at a point to where they can confidently rebuy the rifles just as of yet. So it's basically going to be the same story as last time. They'll obviously take it a little bit slower so as not to run into the wall that last round that was basically Team Dignitas' defense, but the hopes again are not really looking so good with the current buys. And here we go, Dignitas getting aggressive and Config 1, 2, trying to look for the third, but at the very least we see Apex responding to this one.
Avenge frags are so crucial on the T side. At least they do manage to get one, then there's the burn. It's always a bit of an embarrassing moment when he died from the Molotov. Not a great deal they could have done though. And again, Dignitas hold on and pretty convincingly as well. 4 players left alive. ENVYUS will have another buy coming back in, but this is shaping up to be a pretty decent half so far for Dignitas, but they've got to keep it going. They can't afford to take their foot off the accelerator now.
Yep. And again, now Dignitas getting that good lead going. They're going to need to keep it going here for as long as possible. Everybody on Dignitas, with the exception of Config, upgraded now to the full rifles, and Rubino with the AWP back into his hand here too. ENVYUS feel like they might be taking a little bit of a different path this time, but ultimately from the current setup, probably just going for a main execute. Config tries to keep himself sneaky inside of the smoke there, but he's going to be spotted by Happy as he's sitting just outside, so I think he could have seen his feet there from inside of it. So he's going to be able to take him down. The round once again will start off here in the favor of Envy, but they have been revealed inside of ladder room, so this might throw off the plan a little bit, but it doesn't look like it for the time being. They're still kind of sticking to the plan, which is to set up for just a default A setup.
These are typically the best possible ways to start a round from the T's perspective, though. Getting the early frag forces the CT to try and react aggressively to get information. That's exactly what happens for Tensky. He goes looking in T main, and all he gets for his troubles is a bullet between the eyes. So now Dignitas go from a bad situation to a whole lot worse. Rubino's going to be a bit disappointed. He didn't land that shot. That would have alleviated some of the pressure over on Ivy. And now he's going to get caught from Apex as he still looks up there. You can see the domino effect comes in. If Rubino lands that shot, he can then turn his attention to team main. Maybe he gets a second frag. As it stands, though, ENVYUS should be able to clutch this one. Or I should say, claw this one convincingly out. MSL's the last player with a FAMAS, and I mean, the best case scenario now is to take a few players down with him. There's no way he wins this round.
Yep. And then ENVYUS, of course, are going to try to keep this as close as possible. MSL gets cornered and has a 50-50 chance of looking the right way there in that situation, as there was a lot of players coming at him, so not a whole lot of info that he can grab. Does end up going down, but the money from Dignitas is good enough now for these couple wins in a row that they are going to be able to go for another buy here. A couple guns getting tossed around the mix, but still a very competent buy when we take a look at what the rest of the team has. And Rubino even still having the op with armor sitting behind it too. So the members of ENVYUS do have one more big jump to get through here before they're in a safe spot to allow themselves to tie this game right back up here. But this time too, we see the op being brought back into play from Kenny. He's immediately going to connect a shot over here onto the CT-sided opper and already wins that duel.
I've got a question, Dignitas, though. Why are they not throwing a smoke down? You can see one of those smokes has just been placed now on Pop Dog, and they still have a smoke in play. Why not just isolate off the team main? Don't allow Kenny S to get the opening peak, and just try and play the long rounds. Just try and play the long game instead.
Well, the problem was that I don't really think Kenny was too proactive on the op previously. If he's even bought it before, he's only picked it up a couple of times. So I think they're assuming that's basically a safe angle for their own opper, and he wants to use that to try and pick off players on the way in. They weren't really assuming that Kenny was going to come in with the op that time. They said just win an opening duel.
Yeah, could definitely be on the money there, Blue. I feel that one frag could prove to be so costly. I say that, but suddenly Dignitas come back with 3 kills. And at the blink of an eye, this round could potentially shift. It's a 3-on-2 retake scenario now for Dignitas. They do have kicks in play. Config lands the flashbang and picks up the frag. It's now on Apex in 1v3. No one's got to the bomb just yet. Here comes the smoke. Tensky gets caught very easily with that flashbang. Lands the shot through the smoke onto Apex. Are you serious?
He got the intel.
And Dignitas are going to pick it up.
He got the intel from Kirby too, because Kirby was sitting up on top of the train, was going to open fire, but they communicated quickly enough, and the op shot comes in and shuts it down. Kirby doesn't have to take unnecessary risk, as he's sitting at 15 HP, and then they just use the opper to close it out. Great team play coming out from Dignitas, and now again, they restore the lead back into their favor, up by 4 points, looking to grow it even more here. And ENVYUS going to be at the edge of their buys. Not even everybody able to get a rifle this time. Kenny has to downgrade to a Tech 9, so they're going to be looking very weak after this one if we see an additional shutdown coming out from Dignitas.
Oh man, I thought as soon as Kenny gets that frag, it's over. Could not have been more wrong if I tried. Dignitas, what a fantastic clutch. And now, ENVYUS back to the drawing board. Again, a slow round, very much split across the map. It's going to be MBK. He tries to be a nuisance, but there's the boost from Apex.
And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate too, because Tensky opens it up and you can see the damage. He brings Apex down to 32 HP, but then obviously the trade just comes back in. Apex locks onto the location of Tensky and just shuts him back out. So that's a great pickup from him. They do end up trading out the rifles too, so a bit of a smart economical play here. Wouldn't be too smart to keep him with 32 HP, just wheeling that. So he's going to toss it over to Kenny, and he'll pick up the Tech 9 off of Kenny. But now Dignitas down a member here too, and there's going to be another one that falls back over by Ivy. BK finding an opener here. Config trying to turn it back around, but is he going to be expecting Apex to roll? And he is. Takes him down. There goes the bomb too, but caught mid-switching weapons there. Kenny finds a trade for it, takes down Config, and it's only going to leave 2 CTs left alive, but the op still in play from Rubino. He's able to pick up a shot into Kiyoshima, and that still keeps the dream alive here for Dignitas to pick up their 9th round.
Well, so far, this has been a round of missed opportunities for Dignitas. We saw Kirby with a very good potential of getting that frag in Ivy, and then it was Config who pushed up close into team main. They both missed their opportunities, and this is the issue on train. It's so difficult to hold off all these angles. It's suddenly on all on MSL. Now, we've seen him pull off crazier plays than this, but when you look at the positions of ENVYUS and the fact that Kenny just spotted that vital information, oh my goodness, no way, MSL, what? Surely he can't pull this off. He's still got the time, he's got a defuse kit, and he knows where Happy is as well. He's got flashes. He could try and charge in, maybe. The flash hasn't quite connected, and Happy will land the frag, but goodness me, that was a lot closer than ENVYUS were expecting.
It was almost an amazing play from MSL, but the flash does not connect, as you had said, nearly as well as he was hoping over there on the Happy. So Happy, thankfully, as well, gets a bit of a lucky break with that flash, not really hitting him as well as he had expected. Had he have had to look away from that one too, it would have been too late. MSL would have already come in and found the kill, and MSL would have still had plenty of time to defuse that bomb. So ENVYUS come out on top once again here, and Dignitas, they're not going to break away and hold the huge advantage here on the CT side just as of yet. As we have 2 more rounds to go here, this is going to reignite the buys from ENVYUS. And for the side of Dignitas, they've had enough toying around with it, and they're finally going to be broken here. And MSL has paused the game because he needs to go get coffee.
Coffee break Kappa. No joke, he spilt cola. Okay,
It's
interesting.
he raged, man.
Too intense.
was
I wouldn't
mad.
even blame him. After that last round,
I
like,
messed up that flash, god damn it.
yeah.
And I spilled my Coke all over the keyboard. Now my keys are gonna be all sticky. Gotta get a wet wipe now or something.
I've got to take the positives out of that play, man. Those opening 2 frags were ridiculous. Like, to kill the first player, spin around 180 degrees, wreck the second. Very nicely done. The problem, as you said before, Blue, is it's not going to change the fact that they're into a dire economic situation. And they will probably have to just eco here. For me, that's the smart play. Just give ENVYUS a potential 6th round, buy up big into the last one, take it 9-6. It's not a terrible CT half. You can still play with that. If they force here, it could very well go 8-7 to ENVYUS, and then things are a lot more... Well, too close for comfort, I think is the correct phrase.
Now, obviously, again, ENVYUS's players' reputations are all about themselves, so we can talk a little bit more about some of the individual performances here from Dignitas today. You really have to give props, not just to players like MSL, who's been doing, you know, despite the fact that he's a little bit lower in the scoreline, he's definitely been doing a pretty good job of making impact with this op, but Tensky as well, making these plays in almost every single round. He's an absolute monster here for Dignitas today.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Dignitas have really stood up. You know, I think coming into this game, I was keeping an eye on chat, and a lot of people thought this would be a convincing 2-0 victory. It's been anything but convincing. ENVYUS had to go right down to the wire. Configs landed the first shot, though, and they do go in for the force. So that's a good way of starting things off. The second one, Dig is landed, and Tensky goes close range, takes down Kenny S. Looking for a second, he's got it. The bomb's been dropped. What the hell's going on?
So now it's just Keo. And again, Tensky, we were just talking about how much of a monster he is, and he plays it there, just up on top of the blue train, picking up these kills left and right. Him and Config double team that team A entry point. Now they've got control of the bomb. Keo is going to try to find a way to get outside. That Molly gets, actually no, it's thrown on the floor, so it's not going to go down there. And it was still lit too. What? What is that effect? I've never seen that before. Look, can you see that too? Look at Kirby right now. Is the Molly lit on the ground for you?
No.
The Molly's like on fire. But anyway, Rubino jumps down from drop and finishes off Keo there, so they're going to take him down. And there will be a burning bottle sitting on the floor as the round ends.
Well, you're not crazy, because I'm sure everyone on the stream saw that as well. I personally didn't. I have to take your word for it. I'm waiting for chat to react to that one. Yeah, people seem to be able to see it as well. A lot of confusion as well over that. Another force buy that works for Dignitas. Super aggressive, just land the 1Ds. Again, it's so hard to play when you're connected to 1Ds. How do you play against that? You pop a head out, it just gets taken off instantly. Now, ENVYUS themselves were in a force buy. Last round of the half. Best case scenario was a 9-6. Let's see if they can pull it off. Looks like it's going to be a B execute.
They'll line up for it. Probably going to be a pretty quick execute here, too. As they just line up the smokes and flashes and whatever the hell else they need to get into the site here. With MSL and Rubino looking for a way into it. MK is going to push out the rubber, but that's lines up. The smoke is not in a perfect position. Thankfully, MSL's a look away, but that doesn't matter for MSL. Coming in, he's going to pick up 2 kills, gets rounded around there by Apex. That's going to finish him back off, but Rubino there immediately to pick up the trade. And now Config jumping up on top of the train outside of Connector. He's going to pick up another one. Happy trying to push in against Tensky, but only walks to his own doom. Shuts him down, and it's going to be 10-5 at the end of the first half in the favor of Team Dignitas.
Great half of Counter-Strike once again. Dignitas certainly deserving their 5-round lead, but so many of those rounds going down to the wire. It could have been a lot better for Dignitas as well if MSL pulls off that clutch. Could be 11-4, 12-3 even, so doesn't even paint the full picture of how this round of, or this half of Counter-Strike has gone, I should say. I think we had a crash there or something come in, so it could be a little while longer before we get underway. I think both teams are just starting to ready up now, but ENVYUS, simply put, have to win this pistol. If they don't, there's going to be so much pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah, that could put us, obviously, again, the way that it transitions, assuming we don't see an eco upset coming out there from ENVYUS after that. If Dignitas were to pick up the pistol, that would immediately put things at 13-5, and then ENVYUS are just so far behind that even if, again, they could try to destabilize the economy, they're going to have to fight back and forth for so long, as we saw back on Cabo. They just cannot have this. This has to be a solid start for ENVYUS, where they consistently pick up rounds. They can't be trading back and forth, as that's still going to eventually favor Dignitas to just take control of the map and throw us back over onto Mirage.
And Mirage is another map that Dignitas will fancy themselves on. They're a pretty solid Mirage team, so ENVYUS have their work cut out for them here. But here we go. Into the second pistol round we move. Pretty standard across the board, other than Config picking up the Julies, although it's not unheard of. For a while, the likes of Get Right used to pop out the Julies. No utility on the side of ENVYUS, so they're just going raw all in with their Kevlar. No huge surprises there, however, as they do like to stand and exchange fire. 3 players on Ivy. Kiyoshima's spotted 2 of them, but he gets dinked there and he will have to turn tail and run away and hope the best that the rest of his team can come in. That's exactly what Apex has done. There's one frag and a second as well. Beautiful stuff. Kenny comes in. What a play from ENVYUS.
The setup from ENVYUS is beautiful there because they don't push all three of those players immediately outside to push. They hold a lot of them back and make it seem like there's really only one guy trying to defend Ivy. So when they push in, it's a trap, and they're all shut down. Now there's 2 left alive from Dignitas. One's already been eliminated. It's just going to be Kirby now. He's going to get wrecked in the face by Apex. That's going to be ENVYUS picking up the pistol they needed to do. Now they have a chance to get themselves right back into this game with a victory like that.
For those of you asking what the score is overall, it's at the top of your screen, guys. ENVYUS are 1-0 up after winning Cobblestone 16-14. And there is the pistol that we were talking about. But the amount of forced up eco rounds in some cases that Dignitas have managed to claw out, who knows? Maybe this is going to be another one of those. They got 3 smokes in play, so they could execute on B if they so choose, but look at this, the key man could be MBK. He's peeked up there, he's got a lot of information for his team, and he's about to throw a grenade as well. That grenade has damage written all over it, but doesn't do as much as I was expecting. Just MSL feeling that he's down to 48, but MBK does manage to slither away.
Now ENVYUS once again here now with the even split players. Dignitas trying to find their way into either one of these sites, but it's definitely lining up for a play over towards the inside yard. They're going to move one player down ladder him just to check and make sure there's no additional flags coming in from here. And now everyone is ready to rock and roll to toss themselves into the site. It's going to be the usual setup from ENVYUS with 2 players ready to defend it, but now the smoke is going to get dropped in and they'll follow suit here. Happy has something of his own here though to toss back at these players, and that's going to be his own smoke. But he's going to use the sat and he throws it in here now, following it up with an 8 cheat. Is this going to connect as well as he thinks? And unfortunately not, but they're walking right into each other. Happy suddenly realizes it, but no one connects. They literally walk right past each other. Happy stood up and found though. He's sitting inside, but finally jumping out there. Config is going to be able to take him down. Kenny did pick up a kill in the meantime too, but they're still down in a 1 versus 3 advantage now. We can see Enzy coming back in there. He picks up an additional one over towards Kenny. The CTs are down now by an additional player, but they even it back up as Apex finds a kill. Now Rubino wrapping back around these guys. Back over by Z. He picks up one in a Keo. Apex finds that trait, almost gets the 180 kill, but Kirby thankfully is going to close it out in favor of Dignitas.
Another pistol round from Dignitas comes good. The Tech 9 so strong. A beautiful execute. The smokes, the flashes hit Happy, who's stuck in that smoke for what seemed like forever. I was watching from his perspective. It was so damn awkward. But it could have gone very well for ENVYUS had he have not got killed straight afterwards. But that's exactly what happens. And now ENVYUS into pistols with Kevlar themselves. This looks like it's a very fast push on team A. This could play into the hands of Apex, who's there with the 5-7. Nearly gets a second kill. Look at this double stack on the site. Happy at the back there's tapping across with this Eagle. Can't get work done. Config pulls out his 5-7. Can't connect the second frag. And there's Kiyoshima. MBK from behind. Hello. There's 1 kill. He's looking for a second. He gets it as well. And now Tensky is all that remains of Dignitas. And these pistol rounds have been so strong today. A bit of the Wild West, and there's the 1 tap from Kiyoshima. Dignitas concede yet another pistol round.
Back and forth and back once again. ENVYUS absolutely had to win that round though when you consider the consequences of dropping it once again. Now, if they had gone away from that one, if ENVYUS got themselves into 12 rounds, then that would have just been hugely detrimental to these players. But they bounce it back, thankfully, and are now going to keep themselves in a fairly secure position. Still down by 4, but it's manageable here. And for the members of Team Dignitas, they're going to try to strike back once again as they go for the Tech 9 force up. And pretty much everybody walking back over here through Whitehall's now. Rubino might jump down over there in the ladder room. Apex not going to spot anything initially, nor hear anything as he moves outside of it. And then the rest of Dignitas going to move themselves over here towards back B, looking for an execution into the inside yard.
Conley still hasn't quite got to a point where ENVYUS will be happy, so Dignitas have sensed the blood in the water. And they're looking to pounce. Again, this is looking like a B-centric push, although that being said, as I mentioned, a couple of players jumping into Pop Dog. ENVYUS playing this one slow. Looks like the smoke could come through from Apex onto Team Main. And while Dignitas just using every single second. It's a pretty much an identical setup though from ENVYUS. 2 players over on the B side. Here comes the execute. Happy gets flashbang. That grenade could do so much damage. Then he's going to hold down the M4 as well afterwards. Somehow doesn't get any kills. He gets flashbang. He pulls out his knife and just starts to go blind ninja all up in the face of Dignitas, but he's still going to be having the cavalry charge in the form of Kenny S, who is here to pick up frags, and there's a second one for him. Rubino's all that remains. Kenny S with the 5-7 will get his 4th. Another very strange round of Counter-Strike, and that could be Dignitas finally tapping out.
Yeah, so they're finally going to have to give away this sort of advantage here in terms of the gunpowder over to the guys on ENVYUS to let them buy up this time. And for Dignitas, they'll just take it very lightly. Buying up again here, going for another Tech 9 force is basically just going to start this endless chain and it will not be too great for them. So they've still got a little bit of a lead cushion to work with here, and they're going to let ENVYUS try to gain a little bit closer. Probably let the score go up to about 9-11, and then they get the buy in the next round. But this round, probably not going to go very far. And Rubino, nice shot, man. Shuts down MSL. NBK, they're doing work with the dualies. Nice up and closely. And he's actually going to pick up 3 kills with it that round by playing it close. And, well, there you have it. ENVYUS shut down that round.
Damn. Those dualies, though, Blue. Not bad.
Going crazy.
Point blank range. Double the fun, double the terror. AK-47s for Dignitas, though. And it was one of the first. It feels like it's the first time we've seen AKs in this map for quite a while. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's typically been a Tech 9 showdown. No opposite play from either team, though. Let's see how this one builds up. Look at the aggression early on from Dignitas, though. So much information given across to them and the opening pick.
Apex has to turn this around from his position. He's going to be able to pick up one, but again, the trades are coming in too strong for Dignitas now. They brought into a 4 versus 1 situation. There was nobody from ENVYUS accounting for T main or that short lane push. They just let them get so much control of it. And NBK here now is going to be the last player alive from the side of ENVYUS. Stuck up in the White Halls too. Not really a position where he can even work any sort of kills. He's got to fall back and look for a save. This round's already over. Dignitas are going to pick it up and keep the lead going.
I love how much they're mixing it up here, Dignitas. They're not being predictable whatsoever. They had their slow rounds, they've had their B executes, now they're having their super fast A pushes as well. How do you deal with this if you're ENVYUS? There's nothing that can be taken as a given right now. And for those of you saying double the guns, double the fun, I like it. I should go with that one next time.
Someone else just said 2 guns for the price of 1. That's correct.
True that, yeah.
That was like
absolutely.
That was like a perfect situation for him to use dualies too, because there's like all those players are stacked up, and that's exactly why you'd want dualies, because it just has so much freaking ammo in it. You can just unload into the stack of bodies, and more than likely you're gonna get a lot of kills, like we just saw there from NBK a couple rounds back.
Absolutely, yeah. This is the key thing. Like I see a lot of people picking up guns, and then I don't mean necessarily at top level, I just mean generally when I'm playing matchmaking, when I'm playing ESEA, whatever it is, they'll pick up a gun and then they won't use it to its strengths. And as you said there, dualies, where are they strong? Up close and personal. That's the way you want to use dual bretters, not from close range trying to tap people's heads. So definitely a smart use of those pistols there. But either way, here we go. Into round 22. And by the way, I've got a weird bug. It says 22 out of 15. Go TV can maths,
For the score?
I swear. Yeah, it's weird. I'm guessing you don't have that as well.
How does that even happen?
No idea.
Like, what does the client think?
Super overtime, I guess.
I don't know.
I've never seen it before.
Dude, BO3 just sucks today. That's the problem. All right, so Dignitas again lining up for a very heavy approach through Ivy. A couple more are going to come in through T-Con, along with dropping in through Ladder Room too. It's a trade initially. Is Q finding MSL, but it's looking for a trade. Now the trouble is getting outside of the Ivy tunnel, where Kenny has the op sitting just outside of it. He's going to be able to pick up 1 kill, but has to fade away now, and is cut off by Rubino as he tries to escape for it. Rubino picking up the opera, now just 2 left alive on the CT side, down to 1 after Rubino finds another kill to shut down Apex, but they don't exactly know where NBK is just as of yet. And he's going to get the sneaky kill over here to take down Kirby, now lining this up for a 2 versus 1 as he works his way in to get back site control.
Already seen so many clutches today. NBK has everything they could possibly want in this scenario. He's got a Molotov, a HE, he's got the fuse kit, an M4, and also full HP. But look at the positions from Dignitas setting up for the Avenge frag. If worst case scenario comes in, but Conflict gets it cleanly. And that's the real terror when it comes to Train Man. Retaking sites, there's so many places you have to check for. It's such a nightmare. And MVK really, I mean, he did what he could, but ENVYUS trailed by 4 rounds. This is looking ever so good for Dignitas.
And again, another strong buy from the T side, whereas ENVYUS have to force up whatever they can to keep this game competitive now. Starting to fall behind, and with these trades coming back and forth, this is what exactly we said should not be happening here against the T's now, as Dignitas already have that huge advantage, and they've kept most of it going here. They've only lost a +1 advantage now. Started off +5, a 10-5 advantage here for Dignitas. Now it's down 13-9. They're still up by 4 points, so they really haven't lost anything that they started off with here. They are going to hold off this rotation. As you can see here, I think it's Kiyoshima that's unloading back over there. Does some more damage too, as he brings Rubino down, but not really going to be anything so detrimental that it would completely stop anything from Dignitas, but it does whittle these players down, and that's an extra shot or 2 that doesn't need to be connected on these players when the actual take begins in a few moments.
Absolutely, it looked kind of comical, you know, like the shepherd was herding his sheep into almost a slaughterhouse as Dignitas walked in single file, taking tags left, right, and center. But as you say, I mean, that puts a couple players just a shot or 2 away from death now. That is significant damage. Again, Dignitas haven't got a great deal. Apex tries to use the off angle, the close angle, completely backfires on him though. And Kenny, is he even going to get a chance to use this up? The problem is the smokes are coming down. This is really going to blind him. And what you can see, down there on the long angles, Kiyoshima's on the site, gets the frag, drops back down again, going back in for second, sees a shot coming through, eats a grenade to the forehead, and that's going to leave a mark. Now it's down to Kenny, and Happy, scratch that, just make it Happy. He's got the P250. Oh my goodness, that second shot is filthy. The problem is, though, he still doesn't have a defuse kit, so he's going to have to go for blood, and he's not going to get it. Kiyobi stands tall.
That was a great attempt, though, for what he had to work with there. Just a P250 to 1 versus 4. Doesn't even fade away. Just goes right in, picks up 2 kills. Almost trying to stop for that third one there, but doesn't pick it up. And now Dignitas putting themselves into even a better position here now. And for ENVYUS, they've just forced up. They're going to try to do it again because they don't want to play this for the tie. They want to try to win this outright here. So the only rifle they have will be on Kiyoshima. The rest of these guys either on Deagles, P250s, or 5.7s. Those that did upgrade to the pistols have a decent amount of utility, so they can hold back outright aggression from Dignitas. But when it comes to the actual take, the aim has to be right on point. Otherwise, it's going to be a very quick play from Dignitas to shut things down and get them over towards match point.
So much pressure mounting. ENVYUS have been here so many times, though. They have the experience behind them. The problem is that Dignitas have been playing so good that is experience going to outshine raw talent? I'm not so sure. When it comes down to weapons, Dignitas definitely have all the check markers in their favour as well. Just the one assault rifle, the FAMAS in the hands of Kiyoshima. 2 players up on top of the trains, but a very slow, deliberating round for Dignitas. And for me, this is the correct play. Just slow things down somewhat. Trying to pick and mix, pick and feel ENVYUS out. Kenny gets tapped up through the smoke. And as an emotional player, that's got to really sting. How do you deal with that? Just minding your own business, trek through smoke. It's all over now. And maybe that's ENVYUS's map all over now as well, as they're going to desperately try and filter in the close angles. Kiyoshima gets 1 frag, he gets traded out, and now MBK and Happy, 2 remaining players to save it all for ENVYUS, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. MBK, can you pull off a ridiculous clutch?
So the plant comes in, nothing really that MBK can do with the rifle down on the ground, so far away. He's going to get himself into a duel versus Kirby. And he'll shut that one down as well. So there we have it. Now Dignitas at match point. No way ENVYUS really have enough money. They've been forcing up. They'll do it again, but still, most of their players are not really at a good enough threshold to buy up rifle. Probably going to see 2, 3 at most, if even any now. We can see MBK, he picks up a scout, and Happy's the only player with a rifle once again. Now, it was Kyo last round. This time, it's going to be over on Happy. He buys up an M4 at least, but still, with just 1 rifle, you're putting a lot of weight on 1 single player to perform admirably, whereas the rest of your team, unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much besides providing utility. And it's this short lane push again here from Tensky, which is not even being looked at all by ENVYUS. He's gotten so much free movement, and Config picking up this first kill on NBK as well is only going to give him what he needs to prompt through with this one. They are rotating into the B site because they figure out the take's going to be happening here. But this opens up the flanked angle for Tensky to work for, and unless Kyo's going to expect this, which right now he doesn't, he's probably going to be shut down in just a moment.
Take that round for Dignitas again. Happy gets caught, and that's going to be lights out. Map 2 goes the way of Dignitas. I thought Tensky could be the main man there, pushing through by himself, trying to fake out, but the fact they got that opening pick onto B side and got the bomb planted, I then thought he was going to take everyone from behind, but what a map from Dignitas. To Mirage we go, and I would say Dignitas have a real chance at upsetting ENVYUS now. Mirage is a map they're pretty damn good on.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very close one, guys, so stick around for the conclusion of this set. Coming up here in just a few minutes here at StarSeries, once again between ENVYUS and Dignitas. It's going to be Mirage for our final map, so we'll be right back to you guys in just a few minutes.